Hello and Assalamu alaikum. All right, this is a short video on one of the questions on IAS-21 from section B of your F7 Kaplan kit. Um, I'm doing this because there are students who are having issue in computing gains or losses, foreign exchange gain or losses on monetary assets, because non-monetary is very simple, right? So I'll be doing this with you now. The question says Vance buys and sells goods in Cromets, but has a functional currency of dollars. All right. Vance purchased goods for 10,000 Cromets on 1st September 20x1. At Vance year end of 31st September 20x1, this amount remains unpaid. So basically, there's a payable that is unpaid on 31st December 20x1 of 10,000 Cromets, right? Now, obviously, it's a monetary liability, right? First of all, let's convert it on the date it came into existence, and it was 1st September. I'm calling it 2001. It's 20x1, but I'm calling it 2001. All right. So the rate was 10, right? Exchange rate was 10, and your functional currency is dollars, right? Dollars. All right. So obviously this is a bigger amount. You have $1,000 outstanding as a payable on 1st September 20x1. Vance sold goods on 1st September 20x1 for 60,000 Cromets. On 1st October 20x1, Vance received Cromets 30,000, that is 30,000 Cromets he received. The remaining 30,000 Cromets is unpaid at 31st December 20x1. So he also has a receivable for which I'll do my working over here on 1st September. So I'll just copy down everything and I'll change the. Alright, so this becomes a receivable. You have Cromets, you have exchange rate. This is total 60,000, right? Exchange rate on that date was 10. Yeah. All right, let's work it out. Now, the question says we also have the relevant exchanges. I'm not reading this paragraph because this relates to. I'm not reading this paragraph. This relates to IAS-12 income taxes. All right, which we'll do later on. What gain or loss should be recorded in the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 30th September 2021 in relation to the payable recorded for the purchase of goods? Now, since none of the amount was paid back, this whole amount was outstanding on 31st December 2001. I'm calling it 2001. Exchange rate turned out to be the only thing that changed was the exchange rate because there was no amount paid. Will we take the average rate or the rate on 31st December 20x1? So that it will be the rate on 37 20x1. Copy down the formula. Now your payable is $1,250. Your payable is $1,250. So there's a fair value loss of $250. All right. So you have a loss of $250. Your answer turns out to be C. Okay. Next up, what gain or loss should be recorded in the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December 2021 in relation to the sale of goods, that is basically your receivable, right? Because revenue is recorded for the year and receivable is as at because it's a balance sheet amount. Now, first of all, on 1st October 20x1, you received, so it's not receivable, it's received. You received what? Sorry, 30,000. And since you have, I'll just, all right, get this. Now, you have 30, you've received 30,000, right? And only a 30 at the rate, we need to calculate the rate. In fact, the rate is given at 10.5. 10.5. All right. So basically, you received 2857 against, because it was 30,000, that means half of the balance, right? So half the balance at the date at which receivable came into existence was 3,000, half of the balance, right? I divide by 2. And against which you received what? 2857. That means you incurred a loss of 143, right? That is one thing. 143 is one thing. All right. Next up, you have to obviously revalue this amount at what rate? So the rate is at 31st December, it's 8, right? So it's 3750, right? Now the remaining half, the remaining 30,000 has been revalued to, because of the change in exchange rate, it's been revalued to 3750. Originally, this half was, when it came into existence, when the receivable came into existence, it was 3,000, and now it has been revalued to 3750. So basically, you're entitled to $3750, right? Just because of the change in exchange rate. So this is a gain of 750. A gain of 750. So during the year, you have a net gain which will come out to be positive, sorry, negative, which will come out to be a negative figure of 607, right? Not a loss, because I've done the reverse working. I've shown the gain as negative and shown the loss as positive, all right? So you have a net gain of 607, and your answer turns out to be B. Okay, next up. Last part related to this IAS-21. Which of the statements below is or are true? Statement number 1 says the inventory purchase on 1st October 20x1 should be retranslated at the closing rate if the goods remain inventory at 31st December 20x1. Question is whether it's a monetary asset or a non-monetary asset. It's a non-monetary asset, all right? It's a non-monetary asset. So this is false. The foreign exchange gains will be added to the revenue for the year. Why? It will be shown as a separate line item or as part of other income or loss in fact, it's a foreign exchange gain, so it's other income, right? It could either be shown as a line item or could be shown as part of other income in your P&L. It will not be a part of your revenue. Okay. So this is it. This was a question that I wanted to do. I'll see you in the next class with IFRS 15. Take care. Bye bye.